Good morning, everyone. This is Scott, the Scout Man, here in Mexico City, and I'm going to be telling you about a couple different cool day trips you can take from Mexico City. We're checking out a very cool pyramid or pyramids, and then we'll be even going to a town about a couple hours away. So let's head out on an adventure.
It's time for us to head out of Mexico City and time to head over to Teotihuacan. So we get treated to some beautiful landscapes as we head over to the pyramid complex. And after a little bit of a nice shuttle ride and going by some hot air balloons, we finally made it to the front of Teotihuacan. It's a beautiful park. And of course, we're just gathering around just to get started. And then now, as soon as we all gather there, now it's time to head on an adventure and check out the beautiful complex. So a little bit more about Teotihuacan is that it is located about 50 kilometers northeast of Mexico City. It is one of the most significant archaeological sites in all of Mexico, kind of like the Mayan sites that are in the southeastern part of Mexico, like Chichen Itza, for example. And of course, as we admire these beautiful temples, it got some very cool designs on them. So we'll continue our walk and see some of the many ruins of some of the former temples which were in Teotihuacan. I have to say, this is wicked awesome, my friends. It is really cool just to look back in history from when all these different pyramids were around, going back many, many centuries. So now we're going to get ready to head over to the Temple of the Sun, or the Pyramid of the Sun, I should say. And all I can say is it is the largest pyramid in the entire complex. It was completed around 150 AD, has 248 steps to the top. Unfortunately, you're not allowed currently to climb to the top of the pyramid anymore. They had it closed for the past few years or so. Not really sure when they're going to reopen, but it is massive. It is absolutely gorgeous. Just look at this. It is one of the most coolest things I have ever seen in my life. Just a little note, I have not been to Egypt yet, so I bet the pyramids of Giza would be really cool too, but I was quite amazed by these. I absolutely enjoyed seeing this pyramid. It was so cool. So after that, now it's time for me to head over to the Pyramid of the Moon, which is at the northern end of the complex. It is a smaller pyramid, but it was completed in 300 AD, and I don't think you can climb it still, but it's still pretty cool though.
Now this is wicked awesome, my friends. So we got to see the whole complex here. Got the Temple of the Moon back there, and of course before that we saw the Temple of the Sun. This is a truly magical experience. It's amazing that it used to be an ancient city here many centuries ago. Yep, absolutely fantastic, I have to say. I'm kind of speechless right now. This is fantastic. All right, so I'm gonna go meet back up with the group that I'm with for this tour, and we'll be going to get some lunch.
Now it's time to head back on the bus and head over to the restaurant where you have a beautiful interior, and I decided to try a local dish called the Nopal Tlaqueño. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but had a lot of chicken, beef, and a lot of great flavors in it. It was okay, but I did enjoy it though. So after a nice lunch, it's time for us to head back to Mexico City, and we got treated to some nice views on our way back, seeing some of the suburbs of northern Mexico City.
That was really cool. Those pyramids were really awesome. It was great getting to head over to Teotihuacan. It was very cool. But yeah, I decided to go through Get Your Guide to head up that way, so that way I was able to go like on a group tour and get a nice experience by getting a lot of information about Teotihuacan and a lot of context behind it. So I definitely recommend going through a Get Your Guide for that one. This video's not they're not sponsored or anything like that, but still is really cool though. But yeah, that's one of the day trips you can take from Mexico City. There are many others, but there's another one I'm going to be taking, which is further out of the city, which makes for a great day trip. That lasts a lot longer than this one. So stay tuned.
And good morning, everyone. So after a successful first day trip, now we're gonna go on an even bigger one. This time we're gonna be going to Cuernavaca and Taxco. So this will be an all-day adventure this time. So let's go head over to the bus for the group tour, and let's head on down.
So now it's time to head on another group tour, this one with a different group, and it's time to head out on the road again. Sorry, I won't sing. But anyway, so we're heading through the mountains, and we're on our way to our first stop, Cuernavaca.
All right, so we made it to the first stop. This is Cuernavaca, the capital of the state of Morelos. And we're gonna be going a little walk around the city for a little bit.
It's time for us to explore Cuernavaca, and first off, look at all these beautiful churches here. That's one of the cool things about Mexico, is that each city and town has so many gorgeous churches, including this one here too. We even got to go inside this one, and it is absolutely beautiful. Love the interior in here. So a little bit more about Cuernavaca is that it is known as the City of Eternal Spring, and it is the capital city of the Mexican state of Morelos. So as we walk around Cuernavaca, we were treated to some beautiful spring blooms, all kinds of cool shops and restaurants. It's a nice little small city. It's a nice little getaway from Mexico City and a lot less congested. And in front of us, that is where the Hernan Cortes, the famous conquistador who led the conquistadors and conquering the Aztecs in what is now Mexico City, that was the palace he lived in. Well, not that. That's the capital of Morelos. But anyway. But yeah, so overall, Cuernavaca is absolutely beautiful. One place I would highly recommend checking out. You will absolutely love it.
What a beautiful little city, I have to say. I was like, although we only have a short time in Cuernavaca, but yeah, it's really nice. And of course, as I was showing just a little bit ago, yeah, that's where Hernan Cortes lived after he conquered the Aztec Empire, and where present-day Mexico City is. But yeah, this is a great way, going on like a group tour, like with Get Your Guide, for example. Yeah, this is a great way to see some of the more smaller cities and towns of Mexico, which many people usually don't tend to go to in a less stress-free way. All right, so I think it's time to get back on the bus, and we're gonna head over to Taxco next.
All right, now it's time to get back on the bus and head out of Cuernavaca as we now head back into the mountains, and we're off to the state of Guerrero to head over to the beautiful historic mining town, silver mining town of Taxco. Just look how gorgeous it is. This is what we got to see as we entered Taxco. It is a beautiful town with so many white buildings nestled in the hills and the mountains. And we basically head over for a little walk through the city. And what's really interesting is that we basically walk along the side of the road. We're basically with the car, so it is pretty cool, and it is absolutely gorgeous. We even got to look inside a little watering hole with some fish in there, and I'm just loving these white buildings in here. It's just gorgeous. I know I keep saying that, but I truly mean it. So many beautiful churches all around too. Even got to go inside the small one. Couple different like chapels. We got a smaller one, and then right next door an even larger one. It is truly outstanding. So after we left the church, we then continue our way through the city, and we head over to the main square, where we get treated to the main church, the Parroquia de Santa Prisca y San Sebastian. This cathedral was built back in the 18th century with so many beautiful architecture, or a lot of beautiful architecture outside. It's just look at this. This is truly amazing. I love the detail in the architecture. And of course, if you go inside, it's even more massive and outstandingly beautiful. It is wonderful. So then after that, now we head over to a restaurant nearby where we had some pretty good food, although it was rather touristy though. But it was still okay though. I had some great enchiladas. They were pretty good though.
Well, I have to say, the city's been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. It's been so much fun walking around here and just exploring. And of course, having some food too. Although the food wasn't the greatest in my opinion, it felt a little touristy, but it was still enjoyable though. But yeah, this comes to show you have to check out some of the different towns as day trips away from Mexico City. Get to see some very cool stuff. But yeah, Taxco is a nice town. You definitely have to check it out. So yeah, it's definitely worth going with a group, so that way you get a lot more information about Taxco or about any other place that you visit, and also you get to meet other travelers too, and get a bunch of birds flying around you. But yeah, very awesome.
Well, that was fun. So now it's time to head back to the cathedral, because the coolest thing you can do in Taxco is go up one of the towers. For a very small fee, head up to the top, and wow, just look at this. This is the prettiest views in all of Taxco. You can see the mountaintops with all the buildings nestled in the hills and the mountains. This is truly remarkable. One of my favorite views of my entire trip to Mexico. If you have a chance to visit Taxco, make sure you head up to the tower or the top of the tower, and it is really cool. And of course, even look down at the main plaza. It is truly a wonder.
I've had such a great time exploring Taxco today. It's one of the many day trips you can take from Mexico City. And in fact, yeah, for Taxco, I highly recommend checking out as a group tour and coming from Mexico City, just because if you look at the U.S. the Department of State, like the travel advisories, Taxco is a part of the state of Guerrero. There we go, which is considered it's under a level 4 do not travel advisory. So they're basically warning against it, but it's because of stuff that goes on in the state itself. Although Taxco itself is very safe, but yeah, if you do come, you definitely come from Mexico City, and I would advise coming with a group, so that way it makes it a lot easier too. But yeah, but it's totally worth it. And also check out this also Cuernavaca, and of course even going up to the pyramids over at Teotihuacan. So these are some fine day trips you could take from Mexico City. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video here in the beautiful country of Mexico. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on any future adventures. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out here from Taxco, Guerrero, Mexico.